Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. I'm going to jump right into this. Connecticut, the governor, Governor Ned Lamont, just proposed a slew of gun control for a state that already is deep in the gun control trenches. Trenches, easy for me to say. This just came out. I'm going to go through this a little bit. I'll put some on the screen here, and then we'll talk about what each piece of anti-gun legislation that he will have submitted is, and they're going to be submitted as of Wednesday, February 9th, which is the start of the Connecticut legislative session, and this literally just came out, and I want to thank my friends over at CCDL for getting me this information, and shameless plug, if you are a member of the Connecticut Citizens Defense League, I'll be there at their annual dinner this Saturday night speaking, and if you're there, come say hi. I'd love to meet you. Let's jump into this. This is terrible, and if you live in Connecticut, you need to understand this. You need to fight it, and if you're not in Connecticut, please like it and share it, and be aware that this is coming to your state too. There's a lot of these bills that are starting to be submitted in every single state. They're trying to force gun control. You know, unless it's a really good pro-gun state, it's still making its way through. So let's jump into this. So Ned Lamont is just like Joe Biden and other governors who have finally realized that crime is spiked because of their decision to defund police and go soft on crime. So now they're going to pivot, and they're going to fund some law enforcement. So some of the things he's going to do is to double the number of classes that are run, the academies at the municipal and state police level, as well as give money to hard-hit police departments for pandemic-related costs, as well as probation officers, etc. But we're going to jump right into the gun control portions. First thing he's looking to do is to establish a gun tracing task force to identify the sources of illegal guns. This is what the ATF is doing right now. They're going to try to look for FFLs around the country who have not responded to a tracing request in the allotted 24-hour time so that they can revoke FFLs and get more out of business records to add to their 1 billion record registry. So Connecticut is looking to reestablish the Connecticut Gun Tracing Task Force to do just that. And they're going to give them $2.5 million to get that done. The next thing they want to do is to create a statewide community violence intervention program, much like Biden wants to do on the federal level. This is basically going to give money to the Connecticut Department of Public Health's Office of Injury Prevention and create a statewide community violence intervention program. Similar to how Biden wants to give CDC the ability and the money to research gun violence and create ways that they can ban people and further infringe on their rights. Well, Connecticut's going to do the same thing on the state level, and they're going to give $3.5 million to get this done. They want to stop the illegal flow of ghost guns. So Connecticut already banned ghost guns in 2019, but what they're looking to do now is to take all of those pre-banned guns and require registration of them. So if you have a personally made firearm that was manufactured prior to 2019, that was grandfathered in, well, they're going to look to make you register those, and I will always say what happens in every stop throughout history where there was a registration, it's followed by confiscation, and it's the only reason they're looking to do it, guys and gals. So that's the ghost gun issue, to further wrench it down for those who had pre-banned guns. They want to ensure stores take their obligations seriously. What are they going to do? This is going to affect FFLs. They want to create a state license for all gun dealers in Connecticut so that the state can provide oversight and guidance to gun dealers as they comply with the state law. If you're an existing FFL, they're going to give you the license without needing to pay the application fee. And if you're looking to become an FFL, there's another financial hurdle for you to clear. And you know that they're going to try to limit the amount of FFLs, or even put FFLs out of business for the slightest little thing, a la what Joe Biden's ATF is doing as we speak. Then the governor wants to modify carry laws. Currently, Connecticut is open carry and concealed carry in a majority of the state. However, cops cannot ask or demand your permit unless you are suspected of breaking a law, which is the way it should be. If you're not breaking a law and you're not being a criminal and doing criminalistic things, then you don't need to prove anything to anybody. But what the governor wants to do is to make it easier for Connecticut law enforcement to request gun permits on those folks who are openly carrying firearms. But they also want to ban the carrying of firearms in polling places or public buildings, because there's no crime in a public building ever, or on public transit, because that's not frequented by people who might have issues with the law at all, and demonstrations such as marches, rallies, vigils, sit-ins, and protests, etc. We're not done here. We're going to go to the assault weapon ban. And there are two issues here that they want to add to the already existing assault weapon ban in Connecticut. And the first one is they want to expand the assault weapon ban to include any firearm with an arm brace, a pistol brace. They also will open a registration period for those who own those weapons because they say they're functionally identical to a banned gun, which is redonkulous. Like Heller said, these firearms are in common use for lawful legal purposes such as self-defense, so they are covered and protected by the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, but apparently not in Connecticut, or at least that's what the governor wants to change next. Second part of the assault weapon ban that the governor wants to change is he wants to expand the assault weapon ban to include those pre-ban guns. Currently, you can have a gun that was manufactured prior to 1993 and is exempt from the assault weapon ban. It can be sold or transferred, including those from out of state into Connecticut. But they want to stop that and they want to open a registration period so that they can have all of these evil, crazy, scary guns registered so they know who has them and where they are. Next, they want to jump into another thing that Biden's pushing is to make domestic violence convictions an automatic disqualifier for holding a carry permit. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds of this because I know that there are a lot of people who are victims of domestic violence, and I think it's a terrible thing for anybody in any type of relationship to batter another. I think it's terrible. But I will say that under the domestic violence umbrella of laws, there are things that are this silly. I punched my brother because we're in a fight. My mother decides, you know what, I'm calling the police. Cop says, you know what, I'm going to hold you responsible and you're going to go clean graffiti off of these buildings for a week so you can think about what you did. Well, that is a conviction, and that would make that scenario would make me a prohibited person in Connecticut for the rest of my life for something I did as a juvenile, and it is just that easy. I think that they need to really relook at what they're trying to do here because this is a large net they're going to cast if this goes through, and it probably will. A large net they're going to cast, and a lot of people are going to lose out on this. And creating prohibited people out of thin air is never a good thing. Never a good thing. Now, Connecticut, like other states, are looking to jump on the safe storage of firearms bandwagon. Now, back in 2019, Governor Lamont signed Ethan's Law, which banned negligent storage of firearms. But they want to have more issues that people need to jump through, or more hoops they need to jump through. And they want to require all firearms, not just pistols and revolvers, to be sold with a trigger lock. But I want to say this, and securing my item in my home is my responsibility, something that I should take care of. But the government should never tell me what I need to do within my home with items that I own lawfully and legally. I'll leave it at that. Some other things they want to do is they want to throw $19 million to prevent and reduce repeat crime. Throwing money at criminal programs has never worked. It never will. But they're going to continue to do that here. And part of that is launching a statewide gun buyback program. And they never sold you those items, so they don't have the right to buy them back. And the other part here is this last one, training officers in highway interdiction techniques and deploying those officers strategically to stem the flow of guns into the state. Guys and gals, that's called profiling, and it is highly illegal. And if you really want to see more about this, I'll have this linked right in the description down below. But Connecticut, it's coming hot and heavy. And if you don't get loud, it's going to get worse for you. We're in that situation. No longer can you be the silent majority. You can't. We're all on the same team, guys and gals. We're all focused on the same goal. We need to fight more than we have before. Even if you have fought before, you got to fight with even more vigor now because they're coming after everything that we hold dear. Our freedoms, our individual liberties mean something. And they think they can just keep whacking away. We don't get our rights from these people. We do not get our rights from government, and they're not going to take them away. Let me know what you think down below. If you're not in Connecticut, again, please like the video and share it so that it will get to somebody in Connecticut. Post it on different groups and stuff that you're in so people will see it. Thank you for your time. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. And remember, a gun on your hip is more effective than a cop or a dispatcher on the phone. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.